Hey, Hykirians. Welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Hykiri. Let's talk about the results and the fallouts from Double or Nothing and Hell in a Cell. To me, Double or Nothing was pretty lackluster. Very unpredictable outcome for the matches. I'm glad CM Punk won. Like Adam Page, because, as I said before, I don't think Adam Page is a, a really good champion. Heyman Page just, I think he's better for when he's chasing the title instead of when he has it. Which is sad because, everyone wants to be a champion, but some people just aren't made for it. I think Heyman Page is not championship material. CM Punk won, but CM Punk got injured. So now we have no champion in AEW, but they're doing this weird matchup to make a interim champion. And I guess the person that will be fighting Moxley is probably going to be MJF. Who deserves it? MJF deserves it more after his promo that he cut on Dynamite after the pay per view. MJF, I think, is obviously frustrated for what AEW does for him and how they utilize him and how they push him. So I think MJF's gonna be placed against the Mox and win and become the interim champion. But if AEW is anything about their current booking, then we'll see MJF job it out to CM Punk on his return. So CM Punk is going to retain the title while he's injured and probably beat MJF, who will carry the company while Punk is out. On the WWE side, the Hell in a Cell was maybe two star pay per view. The opener was amazing with Asuka and Becky and Bianca, and I know I'm not really positive about Bianca as champion. Like she worked the match. She had like good spots and no real obvious botches. All three of them carried the match. I don't know why it was an opener, but it was a good match nonetheless. It really deserved to be way up on the card. Especially when you had matches like Omos against Lashley. I don't know what I was above the women's three-way bout, but it was and it sucked. The only other good match to come out of Hell in a Cell was the main event. Sadly, Cody was injured, so I think Cody. If Cody wouldn't have been injured, I think Seth would have won. But with Cody injured, I thought the match was going to suffer and be a quick match, but that was a really good match. Even with Cody, obviously, really losing the match, and his pet was just so bruised. I was like, I don't know how to do wrestle. That was crazy. The fact that he wrestled with an injury that big is ridiculous. The biggest complaint going into the pay per view is that, and coming out of the pay per view is that there was only one match. He was in the Hell in a Cell. Why are you theming a pay per view around this if you're not using it? Except for one match. Maybe not the whole show, but you could have put at least one or two more matches in there. The Becca, Asuka, and Bianca match should have been inside the cell as well. So I don't understand why. Why would it use the cell? Mystery of WWE. Moving on, let's talk about the injuries to Daniel Bryan. Sorry, Bryan Danielson. I'm not Jim Ross, I swear. And Cody Rhodes. And Bryan Danielson. Um, Probably still the best wrestler in the world, hands down. Right now, he's injured. I don't think it's a big injury, so he'll be back in a couple of weeks. People are saying it's a concussion, and I really hope it is not a concussion because he really, yeah. Concussions of Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. Maybe I am Jim Ross. Don't mix. Because of the concussions, he was out for many years and almost didn't come back to wrestling. So I hope it's not a concussion. It's just a mild injury. But injury with Cody Rhodes, while it's not that severe, man, does that I hate to say it like that. It sounds dirty, but man, he planned that injury. Yeah, I don't say he planned it, but his injury came at a great time. Why do I say that? Because the injury. Okay, think of the match right. He had Cody Rhodes against Seth Rollins. Cody was injured the night before, legitimately injured, and he's gonna be facing this match with Seth. Now, instead of ending the match and rescheduling it or putting Seth over, while he has a torn pectoral muscle, Cody decides to work. Now, what did that do for Cody? Well, if you go and tell Vince McMahon you ripped the pectoral muscle, but you're still going to work, then you know Vince is like big eyeing you right now. Like, you really going to do this? And you put him in there with Seth. So you know Seth's a very good wrestler at selling and boosting and putting his opponent over. So I Seth in this match. He's even easier. But Cody to wrestle with a legitimately torn pectoral muscle. Because Seth was easily watching out for him throughout the match and making sure that nothing, what was going to happen to him further the injury. Then you move on to Monday Night Raw. Cody comes out to talk about how he's done with Seth. And Seth's moving on. And they shake hands and show respect. And Cody says he's going to beat this injury and come back and be the Money in the Bank winner and go on to face Roman Reigns. And, and then you have Seth come back out during Cody's entrance or exit of the arena and bash him with a hammer. Man, Vince loves this. Because Cody is now, injured and out. Great heel heat by Seth to, knock him down while he's hurt. But the reason I say that Cody's injury could have come at a better time because now when he does return and then he's won the match, he's competed in the match while injured, Cody Rhodes had just turned himself into figuratively the next John Cena. Cody Rhodes wrestling injured and a Hell in a Cell match and winning has made him go from upper mid card to John Cena level. He's going to be the biggest face in the current WWE upon his return. And after The Rock loses to Roman Reigns, almost guaranteed Cody Rhodes will beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania next year. So here you go, I'm calling it. Roman Reigns retain both championships until WrestleMania next year with his limited schedule and go on to flip Cody Rhodes, and Cody will win because they will push Cody so much and so far down your throat, like they did with John Cena and Hulk Hogan and Babyface Reigns, that you will hate Cody. And Vince isn't gonna care because he's still gonna do it, and you're all gonna pay it. So Cody Rhodes' injury is the greatest thing that has ever happened in his career. It sucks to say that, but if you're a wrestling fan, you can argue with me about it. You know I'm right. Next up, we have the Judgment Day. They didn't look this great, but the whole night was presented with a new member joining the Judgment Day. But everyone's looking for that. So much in fact that when Finn Balor came out to turn heel and join the Judgment Day, nobody expected for Finn Balor to turn on Edge and getting all that heel heat when they took Edge out. So now the Judgment Day faction solidified themselves as very over heels, taking Edge out. I don't know what it's with AJ or what they're going to do with Edge. But man, it's set to give Finn Balor such an amazing push. And I really hope WWE doesn't tarnish this push because a heel battle right now will be great. The downside is, will they use Demon Balor? And what's the point if there's no championship to go after? But Roman Reigns having, I guess, a limited schedule or whatever they're doing with him to keep him safe from injury up until next WrestleMania. Moving on. For NXT, we saw the finals with Roxanne Perez versus Tiffany Stratton. It was a really good match between Tiffany and Roxanne. I think it's probably match of the week. You should check it out over on the internet if you can find it. It's definitely worth a watch. Roxanne was a correct winner. I think even if LL Last Legends was in this tournament still, Roxanne would have won. I think if LL Nikita was still in this tournament, or Nikita probably would have won. But Roxanne should have won. And Roxanne did win. And I think Roxanne will be the one to face and defeat for the championship. I look forward to this feud. I think it's going to be a good one. I see WWE doing this really. If they push Roxanne right, she could be a real moneymaker. Moving on to AW, Will Ospreay has officially joined AEW. This is a moment that should have been a very big moment with a huge crowd reaction. Because Will Ospreay is probably the best high flyer and spot wrestler in the world right now. I don't even think Ricochet is on the level. But when you put them together, they're unstoppable. Unfortunately, they're in different companies. But disappointed with the pop that Ospreay received. He's a great wrestler, but I don't know why his pop was so low. Maybe AEW, their fan base doesn't really know who he is. But I think he's a great wrestler that can work a good push. But I don't know how he'll fit with AEW's roster. Will he even be used enough? It's hard to say, really. But we're on SmackDown. We saw a re-debut of Lacey Evans. And Lacey Evans, uh, she won her match against Zali to win her spot in the females Money in the Bank match. And I'm pretty certain Lacey Evans is going to win the entire female Money in the Bank match. I just really hope she doesn't. I don't like her wrestling. I don't like this whole persona. I'm tired of the sob story. And we hear every week. Her finishing move is stupid. It's a punch. It's a punch. It's a freaking punch. I'm just saying to people. Just wrestling, not boxing. I really don't care if you call it the woman's right. It's still a stupid punch. Lacey Evans isn't ready for a championship push. I don't know if she'll be the one to beat Ronda, but maybe she'll go after Bianca. I don't want to see her after either. That only time will tell. Last but not least, SmackDown saw a match with Ricochet versus Gunter. Um, Ricochet was a bad champion because WWE never gave the spotlight or onto the championship. He's been champion before WrestleMania came around, and nobody's gonna remember this championship run. It's gonna be the the shuffle. And it's a shame, really. Like Ricochet's a great wrestler. I don't know what WWE is doing and not doing to make him pushed, but he can run it. Ricochet can easily be a champion right now, but he needs the right opponents. And Gunter with the right opponent, it's the wrong decision. I don't know about that, but because Gunter is great as well. Also known as Walter. The Gunter name is stupid. But anyway, Gunter deserved a championship, but Ricochet deserves it as well. I think Ricochet is probably going to fight Gunter in a rematch and for the same outcome. And Gunter should be pushed because he's a big guy that has extremely fast movement and stiff strikes. Just go watch a video of his turnbuckle kick. You will be amazed. Well, that's all for this week, guys. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. You all have a great night, great week, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.